Okay, welcome to the second learning objectives of Module 5. And this particular objective, we're going to discuss what's in the Consumer Price Index basket and kind of discuss one of the problems with the Consumer Price Index, which is what we call the substitution bias. And the substitution bias basically says as the cost of some things go up, we will automatically trade off substitute items. These are items that we can use in place of each other where we don't see a lot of difference in utility. So what's in the Consumer Price Index? Well, as you can see, there's a lot of housing which is included in the Consumer Price Index. There's also a lot of transportation included in the Consumer Price Index. And so we do strip out some of these components to really see where the change in prices is at. For example, a change in price of food and beverages is going to really affect everyone as a whole because everyone eats food. But if we look at, for example, apparel, people can go without that, so that might not affect as many individuals as what food and beverages would. Okay, so one of the questions we were asked in Learning Objective 1 was to take a look at if we have a change in beef and chicken and what's the idea behind that. There's a piece missing from this particular problem. You can't see it real well, but it says that because of the price rise in beef, that in 2012 consumers only purchased 5 pounds of beef, and they increased chicken to 25 pounds, which changes our baskets a little bit because of this substitution bias which takes effect. So it's asking us to compute the cost of the basket in 2012, and then it's asking us to compute the percentage increase in the cost of the household basket over 2011 and 2012, and then compare that to what we had previously calculated, or the inflation rate. So let me go ahead and minimize this particular, oops, I'll get there, hold on. Let's go ahead and minimize this. Again, every week I have to remember how to do this kind of thing, so just give me a second here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and change the idea here. So let's just go ahead and put our slide up here in the corner. And so if you wanted to go ahead and work this problem, and then I'll go ahead and work it with you. So what we're going to do first of all is we're going to compute the basket's cost in 2012. So in 2012, we know that we have the price of beef. First of all, we have 10 pounds of beef. Or no, I'm sorry, in 2012, we have 5 pounds of beef. So let's go ahead and do that. We have 5 pounds of beef. And we have 25 pounds of chicken. And 25 pounds of chicken. And now what we're going to do is to calculate our prices based upon that new information that we're given. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and we're going to say we have $9 a pound for beef times 5 pounds of beef plus the $6 a pound for chicken times 25 pounds of chicken. When we do that, add those two together, we end up with $195. So the basket's cost did decrease a bit because of the substitution, because the price of beef increased so greatly compared to chicken. The next part of the problem is we want to compute the percent increase in the household basket. So what we're going to do is, recalling what our household baskets are, we're going to say, okay, well, the rate of increase, again, is the 195, the most recent, divided by our base year, or the previous year, excuse me. We're going to just compute a percent change here. I was going off on a different tangent. So we're going to go ahead and compute the percent change. So it was 150 from the previous year. So we're going to take our 195 from the current year minus the previous year of 150, divided that by 150, and take that times 100%. When we do that, we end up with 30%. So that's our change that we have, the rate of the increase. And remember, last time we calculated it, it was 210. minus 150 over 150 times 100%, and so it was 40%. So one of the problems with the consumer price index is it doesn't take into account that when products get more expensive, consumers will trade off cheaper products, substitute products, where there's not a lot of difference in the utility between the. Okay, so just checking our answers. Again, we have 195. We have the difference of the 30% that we just calculated because of the substitution bias. And again, what was the rate from the previous problem? 40. So it is overstated a bit, and many of these problems will tend to overstate the consumer price index. Thank you.